Keanu Charles Reeves was born on September 2nd, 1964, in Beirut, Lebanon, a city bursting with contrasts: ancient culture, political unrest, and rich Mediterranean life. Don't forget to subscribe to Storygram for more unforgettable stories that touch your heart. His mother, Patricia Taylor, was a free-spirited English showgirl and costume designer, while his father, Samuel Nowlin Reeves Jr., had a fascinating mixture of Hawaiian, Chinese, English, and Portuguese ancestry. Keanu's multicultural heritage played a crucial role in shaping both his physical appearance and his open-minded worldview. His striking looks, dark hair, soulful brown eyes, and chiseled cheekbones were a product of this diverse lineage, but it was his quiet resilience that would come to define him. The name Keanu translates from Hawaiian as cool breeze over the mountains, a poetic foreshadowing of the calm, grounded nature he would exhibit throughout his life, even amid storms of personal tragedy and immense fame. However, Keanu's childhood was anything but breezy. When he was only 3 years old, his father abandoned the family. The loss created a void in Keanu's life that he would later fill with close friendships and an almost fatherly connection to his younger sister, Kim Reeves. Raised primarily by his mother, Keanu experienced a childhood of constant movement, first to Sydney, then to New York City, and finally settling in Toronto, Canada. His mother remarried several times, leading to a series of stepfathers and further instability at home. This transient lifestyle meant that Keanu struggled to feel rooted in any one place, but it also taught him how to adapt quickly to new environments. He developed a sense of independence and self-reliance that would later become essential during his acting career. Keanu's academic life was equally turbulent. Diagnosed with dyslexia, he found reading and writing incredibly challenging. School became a place of frustration rather than inspiration, and Keanu's rebellious streak led to expulsions from several institutions. His struggles with formal education didn't reflect a lack of intelligence, however. In fact, Keanu possessed a sharp mind and a vivid imagination that thrived outside the classroom. His dyslexia may have hindered his traditional learning, but it also gave him a unique way of seeing the world, through creativity and intuition. Despite his academic challenges, Keanu excelled in sports, particularly hockey. He played as a goalie for his school's team and earned the nickname The Wall due to his impressive ability to block shots. His dream was to play professional hockey in the NHL, and for a time, it seemed like a realistic goal. However, fate had other plans. A serious injury ended his aspirations of becoming a hockey star, forcing him to reconsider his future. Although the end of his sports career was a blow, it opened the door to something even more transformative: acting. Keanu's love for storytelling had always been present, nurtured by his passion for movies and theater. In Toronto, he began attending acting workshops and community theater productions. His natural charisma and sensitivity made him stand out, and he quickly caught the attention of local casting directors. Keanu's early acting career began with small roles on Canadian television, including appearances in shows like Hanging In and Going Great. His first significant role came in 1984 when he was cast in the short film One Step Away, a gritty drama about troubled youth. The role gave Keanu his first taste of serious acting and validated his belief that he could turn his passion into a career. He soon transitioned to larger projects, landing a spot in the TV movie Young Again, 1986, and earning praise for his natural screen presence. However, the big break that would launch Keanu's career didn't come from Canada. It came from a chance encounter in Los Angeles. At the age of 20, Keanu decided to take a leap of faith and move to Hollywood, where he believed greater opportunities awaited him. He packed up his belongings and drove across the border with nothing but determination and a few acting credits to his name. His arrival in Los Angeles was met with the typical struggles faced by aspiring actors: rejection, financial insecurity, and long auditions. But Keanu had one quality that set him apart: an unwavering sense of purpose. His breakthrough role came in the 1986 coming-of-age drama River's Edge, a dark, haunting film about a group of teenagers dealing with the aftermath of a murder. The movie received critical acclaim, and Keanu's performance as a conflicted young man earned him attention in the industry. Suddenly, The young actor, who had once been expelled from multiple schools and faced rejection after rejection, was being recognized as a rising star. But it wasn't until 1989 that Keanu would achieve mainstream success with the release of Bill Ted's Excellent Adventure. This quirky time travel comedy paired him with Alex Winter as two dim-witted but lovable high school students who embark on a journey through history to pass a class project. Keanu's portrayal of Ted Theodore Logan was effortlessly charming, and audiences fell in love with the character's goofy optimism and laid-back demeanor. The film became a cultural phenomenon and spawned a sequel, Bill Ted's Bogus Journey, 1991, cementing Keanu's status as a pop culture icon. However, success came with a downside. Keanu was quickly typecast as a clueless, laid-back surfer type, and many critics dismissed him as a one-dimensional actor. The shadow of Ted Logan followed him, and directors were hesitant to cast him in serious roles. But Keanu wasn't content to ride the wave of commercial success without proving his depth as an actor. He sought out roles that would challenge him, choosing scripts that allowed him to explore new facets of his talent. One of his first attempts to break free from the Ted Logan image came in My Own Private Idaho, 1991, a film directed by Gus Van Sant. Keanu played Scott Favor, a wealthy young man who befriends a narcoleptic street hustler played by River Phoenix. The film, which explored themes of love, identity, and betrayal, was an art house success and earned Keanu critical praise. His chemistry with Phoenix, both on and off-screen, was undeniable, and the two became close friends during the filming process. River Phoenix would become one of the most influential people in Keanu's life, providing him with emotional support and creative inspiration. Their friendship was built on mutual respect and a shared understanding of the pressures of fame. But Keanu's bond with River would also foreshadow one of the most heartbreaking chapters of his life. In the early 1990s, Keanu Reeves' career gained momentum, but his personal life remained complicated and deeply emotional. His friendship with River Phoenix, who was hailed as one of the most promising actors of his generation, was particularly significant. The two bonded over their shared experiences as young actors navigating sudden fame and the emotional toll that accompanied it. Keanu described River as someone who truly understood him in ways that others couldn't. Together, they discussed acting, music, philosophy, and life's deeper questions. Keanu's respect for River went beyond admiration. He considered him a brother. River's kindness, intellect, and dedication to his craft were traits that Keanu looked up to. But their time together was tragically short. In 1993, River Phoenix died of a drug overdose outside the Viper Room, a nightclub in Los Angeles co-owned by actor Johnny Depp. The news of River's death sent shockwaves through Hollywood, but it hit Keanu particularly hard. He had lost more than just a friend. He had lost someone who had played a crucial role in his emotional stability and creative growth. River's death marked a turning point in Keanu's life. He became more introspective and guarded, rarely discussing his grief in interviews. It was during this period of mourning that he developed a deeper sense of compassion and empathy, traits that would define his interactions with fans, colleagues, and strangers for years to come. His experience with loss gave him a unique perspective on life, one that emphasized kindness, resilience, and the importance of living in the moment. Despite the emotional turmoil, Keanu's acting career continued to flourish. In 1994, he landed the role that would redefine his image and launch him into action hero stardom, Speed. Directed by Jan de Bont, the film followed a Los Angeles cop, Jack Traven, played by Keanu, who must prevent a bomb from exploding on a city bus. Paired with Sandra Bullock, whose breakout performance as Annie earned her widespread acclaim, Keanu delivered a performance that blended charm, intensity, and vulnerability. The film was a massive box office success, grossing over $350 million worldwide and making Keanu a household name. However, Keanu's newfound action star status didn't distract him from seeking more meaningful projects. He was determined to explore diverse roles and refused to be pigeonholed. In 1995, he surprised audiences by starring in the romantic drama A Walk in the Clouds, where he played a soldier returning home from World War II who helps a pregnant woman by pretending to be her husband. The film showcased Keanu's softer, romantic side, proving that he could handle more than just action roles. But his boldest career move came when he accepted the role of Prince Hamlet in a stage production of Shakespeare's Hamlet in Winnipeg, Canada. Many critics doubted Keanu's ability to handle the complexity of one of literature's most iconic characters, but he approached the role with humility and dedication. While reviews were mixed, his performance demonstrated his willingness to take risks and embrace challenges. For Keanu, it wasn't about proving the critics wrong. It was about his love for the craft and his desire to grow as an actor. Keanu's personal life remained private during this time, but behind the scenes, he was facing another emotional challenge. His younger sister, Kim Reeves, was diagnosed with leukemia in the early 1990s. Kim's illness deeply affected Keanu, who put his career on hold multiple times to care for her. Their bond was unbreakable, and Keanu's devotion to his sister revealed the depth of his character. He became her primary source of emotional support, frequently visiting her during treatments and ensuring that she had the best medical care possible. Kim's battle with leukemia inspired Keanu to quietly donate millions of dollars to cancer research and children's hospitals. Unlike many celebrities who publicize their charitable contributions, Keanu chose to keep his philanthropy private. It wasn't until years later that stories began to emerge about his anonymous donations and acts of kindness. He often gave away portions of his earnings from major films, including the Matrix franchise, to crew members, hospitals, and medical researchers. For Keanu, helping others wasn't about recognition. It was simply the right thing to do. As Keanu navigated his personal struggles, his professional life reached new heights. In 1997, he starred alongside Al Pacino and Charlize Theron in The Devil's Advocate, a supernatural thriller that explored themes of ambition, morality, and temptation. Keanu played Kevin Lomax, a successful defense attorney who becomes entangled in the schemes of a powerful law firm run by the devil himself, played by Pacino. The film was a commercial success and allowed Keanu to showcase his range as an actor, balancing the character's internal conflict and moral dissent. But it was in 1999 that Keanu's career reached a level of success few actors achieve. He was cast as Neo in The Matrix, a groundbreaking sci-fi action film directed by the Wachowski siblings. The film's premise: a computer hacker discovers that reality is an elaborate simulation controlled by machines, captivated audiences and critics alike. Keanu's portrayal of Neo, the reluctant hero destined to save humanity, became iconic, and the film's innovative visual effects, including the famous bullet time sequence, revolutionized the action genre. The Matrix was more than just a box office success. It became a cultural phenomenon that influenced everything from fashion to video games. Keanu's performance, which combined martial arts, philosophy, and emotional depth, solidified his status as an international star. But behind the scenes, Keanu remained humble and approachable, often downplaying his role in the film's success and crediting the directors, stunt teams, and special effects crews for their contributions. Despite the overwhelming success of The Matrix, Keanu faced further personal challenges. In 1999, his girlfriend Jennifer Syme, a young actress and production assistant, became pregnant with their daughter, whom they planned to name Ava Archer Syme Reeves. Tragically, Ava was stillborn at 8 months. The loss devastated both Keanu and Jennifer, straining their relationship and leaving them both heartbroken. Just over a year later, Jennifer Syme died in a car accident in April 2001. The grief from these losses profoundly affected Keanu, who once again withdrew from the public eye to cope with his sorrow. In interviews, he spoke about the nature of grief, describing it as something that changes shape, but it never disappears. His resilience in the face of such tragedy resonated with fans, who admired his ability to find strength in difficult times. Despite his personal hardships, Keanu continued working, driven by a desire to honor the memory of those he had lost. His next major projects included The Matrix Reloaded and The Matrix Revolutions, both released in 2003, which further expanded the franchise's success. However, Keanu's approach to fame remained unconventional. While other stars basked in the spotlight, Keanu often retreated from it, choosing instead to ride the subway, walk through the streets of New York, and connect with ordinary people. Keanu's humility became a defining aspect of his public image. Fans frequently shared stories of him giving up his seat on public transportation, helping stranded motorists, and spending time with homeless individuals. One viral photo captured Keanu sitting alone on a park bench, eating a sandwich, an image that became symbolic of his down-to-earth personality and his ability to remain unaffected by Hollywood's excesses. As Keanu Reeves navigated through the early 2000s, his reputation as a compassionate, introspective individual began to surpass even his fame as an actor. While much of the public remained fascinated by his mysterious, humble persona, Keanu himself was seeking deeper meaning in life. He had endured profound personal losses: River Phoenix, his daughter Ava, and Jennifer Syme, and these experiences had permanently altered his outlook on the world. Rather than retreating permanently into solitude, Keanu turned to his work, friendships, and philosophical pursuits to cope. He began reading extensively about Eastern philosophies, including Buddhism and Taoism, both of which stress the importance of balance, mindfulness, and acceptance of life's impermanence. Keanu has never publicly declared adherence to any specific religion, but many who have worked with him describe him as spiritually curious, always searching for deeper truths. One of the ways Keanu expressed this introspection was through his role selection. In 2005, he starred in Constantine, a supernatural action film based on the DC Comics character John Constantine. Constantine is a demon hunter and exorcist who struggles with guilt, faith, and redemption, themes that resonated with Keanu on a personal level. Although the film received mixed reviews, it developed a cult following over time, with many fans praising Keanu's portrayal of the tormented antihero. Behind the scenes, Keanu maintained close friendships that helped him stay grounded. One such friendship was with his Matrix co-star Carrie-Anne Moss. The two developed a deep mutual respect during their time working on the franchise, often supporting each other through long, grueling shoots. Carrie-Anne has described Keanu as one of the most considerate and selfless people she's ever worked with, recalling how he would regularly check in on her well-being during filming. Keanu's kindness extended to the crew as well. While filming the Matrix sequels, he made headlines for giving away a significant portion of his salary, rumored to be around $75 million, to the special effects and costume teams. To Keanu, this wasn't an extraordinary gesture. It was simply a way to acknowledge the hard work and dedication of the people who helped bring the films to life. "Money is the last thing I think about," he once said in an interview. "I could live on what I've already made for the next few centuries." Despite his generosity and humility, Keanu wasn't immune to the pressures of Hollywood. The early 2000s were a turbulent time in the industry, with studios focusing more on blockbuster franchises and less on character-driven dramas, the types of films Keanu was drawn to. As a result, he occasionally found himself in projects that didn't align with his artistic vision. One such example was The Day the Earth Stood Still, 2008, a sci-fi remake that received mixed reviews. Keanu played an alien named Klaatu, a role that required him to embody both an otherworldly detachment and a deep concern for humanity's fate. Although the film wasn't a critical success, Keanu remained philosophical about the experience. He understood that not every project would be a hit, and that failure was simply part of the creative process. His ability to maintain this perspective likely stemmed from his background in theater, where he learned that every performance, good or bad, was an opportunity for growth. During this period, Keanu also explored his love for motorcycles, which had been a passion of his since his 20s. In 2011, he co-founded Arch Motorcycle Company with custom bike builder Gard Hollinger. The company specialized in creating high-performance, handcrafted motorcycles that combined functionality with artistry. For Keanu, Arch wasn't just a business. It was a creative outlet and a way to connect with the thrill of riding, something he found meditative and freeing. "Riding a motorcycle is the closest you can get to flying," Keanu once said. "It's about freedom and being in the moment." His love for motorcycles also served as a metaphor for his approach to life, embracing risks, savoring the journey, and accepting that not everything could be controlled. While Keanu was pursuing personal passions, his acting career experienced a resurgence thanks to a project that would redefine his legacy once again. In 2014, he starred in Wick, an action film directed by former stunt coordinators Chad Stahelski and David Leitch. The film followed a retired hitman seeking vengeance after a group of criminals killed his beloved dog, an animal gifted to him by his late wife. At first, many in the industry were skeptical about the film's premise and Keanu's ability to carry another action-heavy role. But Keanu's dedication to the project was unwavering. He spent months training in martial arts, gun handling, and hand-to-hand combat, ensuring that he could perform as many of his own stunts as possible. The result was a breathtaking performance that combined physical prowess with emotional depth. John Wick was a surprise hit, earning over $86 million worldwide and spawning multiple sequels. But for Keanu, the film was more than just a commercial success. It was a story about grief, loss, and the lengths to which people go when they have nothing left to lose. The character of John Wick mirrored Keanu's own life experiences in many ways, making the role deeply personal for him. As the John Wick franchise gained popularity, Keanu's fan base grew exponentially. Social media users dubbed him the internet's boyfriend due to his endearing qualities, including his habit of posing respectfully in photos with female fans by keeping his hands hovering rather than touching them, a gesture that was praised as considerate and respectful. Memes, videos, and fan art celebrating Keanu's kindness flooded platforms like Twitter and Reddit, further solidifying his status as a beloved public figure. But Keanu remained unaffected by the sudden surge in online attention. "It's nice," he admitted during an interview, "but I try not to think about it too much. What's important to me is the work, the people I get to work with, and how I can give back." In 2019, Keanu surprised audiences once again by voicing the character Duke Kaboom in Pixar's Toy Story 4. The character, a stuntman action figure with a larger-than-life personality and a tragic backstory, was a perfect fit for Keanu's unique blend of humor and heart. His performance was both comedic and poignant, earning praise from critics and fans alike. As Keanu entered his mid-50s, he continued to balance blockbuster roles with smaller, meaningful projects. He reunited with his Bill Ted co-star Alex Winter for Bill Ted Face the Music, 2020, a long-awaited sequel that provided a nostalgic yet heartfelt conclusion to the beloved franchise. The film, which focused on friendship, family, and fulfilling one's destiny, was a reminder of the optimism and humor that had defined the early years of Keanu's career. Outside of acting, Keanu continued his philanthropic efforts, supporting organizations focused on cancer research, children's hospitals, and mental health awareness. He rarely spoke publicly about his charitable work, but those who knew him described him as someone who genuinely cared about making the world a better place. In interviews, Keanu often reflected on the lessons he had learned from his life's ups and downs. "Grief and loss, they never go away," he said, "but you learn to live with them. And through that pain, you find compassion for others. You realize that everyone you meet is fighting a battle you can't see." As Keanu prepared for the next chapter of his career, including upcoming projects like The Matrix Resurrections and additional installments in the John Wick franchise, he remained a symbol of resilience, humility, and quiet strength. For fans, Keanu's journey wasn't just about the movies he made. It was about the person he had become. Keanu Reeves' life has been shaped by a series of intense personal losses, experiences that could have broken anyone else, but instead served to make him the resilient, compassionate individual that the world admires today. He has become a beacon of empathy and understanding, largely because he understands grief in its rawest, most unrelenting form. This part of his life is as important as his success in Hollywood, because it reveals the layers of depth behind the man many call the kindest actor alive. The death of his close friend River Phoenix in 1993 marked one of Keanu's first major personal tragedies. River wasn't just a friend. He was a kindred spirit who shared Keanu's artistic passion and introspective view of the world. The two had worked together in the 1991 film My Own Private Idaho, a project that pushed them both to explore vulnerable, emotionally charged performances. River's unexpected death from a drug overdose at the young age of 23 was a shock to everyone who knew him, and Keanu took it particularly hard. In interviews years later, Keanu described River's death as a wake-up call about the fragility of life. "I think about him often," Keanu once said. "He was such a beautiful person, and his absence still echoes in my life." But Keanu rarely allowed himself to dwell publicly on his pain, instead channeling it into his work. He often spoke of acting as a form of catharsis, a way to process feelings that were too overwhelming to confront directly. The late 1990s and early 2000s brought even more heartache. In 1999, Keanu's girlfriend Jennifer Syme gave birth to their daughter Ava Archer Syme Reeves, who was stillborn. The loss devastated the couple, and their relationship began to crumble under the weight of grief. They separated but remained close friends, supporting each other through the emotional aftermath. Tragically, in 2001, just 2 years after Ava's death, Jennifer died in a car accident. These back-to-back tragedies deeply affected Keanu, leaving him in a state of emotional isolation. "Grief changes shape, but it never ends," Keanu said in a rare, candid interview. He described how loss had permanently altered his perception of life, making him more aware of its fleeting nature and the importance of cherishing every moment. "I miss being part of their lives and seeing them grow. I miss all the great things that will never be." Despite these painful experiences, Keanu never allowed himself to grow bitter or cynical. Instead, he found solace in small, meaningful moments, reading philosophy books, riding his motorcycle through the California hills, and spending time with friends who had become like family to him. His ability to embrace life's simple pleasures became a coping mechanism, allowing him to navigate the ups and downs of fame without losing his sense of self. Many of Keanu's closest friends have noted that his kindness is not performative or strategic. It's genuine. "Keanu doesn't do things for attention," said one longtime friend. "He does them because he believes in helping people, even if no one's watching." One story that highlights Keanu's selflessness occurred during the production of The Matrix Reloaded in the early 2000s. A crew member, struggling financially, mentioned in passing that he was facing eviction from his home. Keanu quietly stepped in and paid the man's rent without making a big deal out of it. The crew member later shared the story anonymously, saying, "Keanu saved my family. I wouldn't have known what to do without his help." Another example of his generosity came to light when he gave Harley-Davidson motorcycles to the stunt team that worked on the Matrix films. When asked why he had done it, Keanu simply shrugged and said, "They worked hard. I wanted to show my appreciation." To him, such gestures weren't about grand displays of wealth or power. They were about acknowledging the contributions of the people who made his success possible. Off-screen, Keanu also used his wealth for charitable purposes, often donating anonymously to organizations that support cancer research and children's hospitals. His involvement in cancer research is particularly personal, as his younger sister, Kim Reeves, battled leukemia for nearly a decade. Keanu was a constant presence by her side, attending chemotherapy sessions and offering emotional support. Thankfully, Kim went into remission, but the experience left a lasting impact on Keanu, inspiring him to quietly fund research efforts to help other families facing similar struggles. While the public often sees him as a solitary figure, Keanu's private life is marked by moments of deep connection and enduring friendships. One of his longest-lasting friendships is with director Chad Stahelski, who began working with Keanu as a stunt double on The Matrix and later directed him in the John Wick franchise. Stahelski has praised Keanu's dedication, calling him a workhorse who doesn't rest until he's perfected every scene. "Keanu brings something to every character that's beyond the script," Stahelski said. "He's not just an actor. He's a collaborator, someone who invests emotionally in the entire process." Keanu's collaboration with Stahelski on John Wick marked a turning point in his career, proving that he wasn't just an action star, but an actor capable of portraying complex, emotionally driven characters. The role of John Wick allowed Keanu to explore themes of grief, vengeance, and redemption, ideas that resonated deeply with him due to his own experiences. The character's quest for justice after losing his wife and dog mirrored Keanu's own struggles with loss, making the performance authentic and relatable. As the franchise grew in popularity, Keanu's fame soared to new heights, but he remained grounded. Despite the media frenzy surrounding him, He maintained his reputation for humility and respect. He was often seen riding the subway in New York City, giving up his seat for others, or quietly waiting in line at coffee shops like any ordinary person. Fans who met him in public often described their encounters as heartwarming, with Keanu going out of his way to take photos, sign autographs, and engage in genuine conversations. In 2019, Keanu's popularity reached its peak with the release of multiple successful projects, including John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum, and his role in the video game Cyberpunk 2077. But perhaps the most unexpected moment of the year came when Keanu made a surprise appearance at E3, the annual gaming expo, to promote Cyberpunk 2077. As he described the game's immersive world, a fan shouted, "You're breathtaking." Keanu, without missing a beat, pointed to the fan and replied, "You're breathtaking. You're all breathtaking." The moment went viral, solidifying Keanu's status as the internet's most beloved star. But even in the midst of this newfound adoration, Keanu remained focused on what mattered most to him, creating meaningful work and using his platform to uplift others. His role in Toy Story 4 as Duke Kaboom, an over-the-top Canadian stuntman action figure, showcased his playful side, reminding audiences that beneath the serious exterior was a man who loved to laugh and have fun. As Keanu reflected on his journey, he often credited his resilience to the lessons he had learned from both success and failure. "I've been through a lot," he said in an interview, "but every experience, good or bad, has shaped me. I wouldn't be who I am without the struggles." By the late 2010s, Keanu's story had evolved from one of tragedy to one of hope, showing that it's possible to find meaning even in the darkest moments. As the years passed, Keanu Reeves continued to build a legacy not only through his films, but through the quiet impact he had on those who crossed his path. For many, Keanu became more than a movie star. He became a symbol of perseverance, kindness, and empathy. His ability to thrive despite loss and hardship resonated with millions, making his presence on and off-screen feel meaningful to fans around the world. But as he entered his 50s, Keanu's life experienced an unexpected shift, a slow, quiet return of hope, love, and purpose. The 2010s had brought Keanu unparalleled success. The John Wick franchise was thriving, and his role in video games like Cyberpunk 2077 showcased his ability to embrace new creative opportunities. But while Keanu was thriving professionally, his personal life was still marked by quiet solitude. For years, fans speculated about his relationships, wondering whether he had found someone to share his life with after the devastating losses of the past. In 2019, that mystery was partially solved when Keanu appeared publicly with artist Alexandra Grant at the LACMA Art Plus Film Gala. The couple walked the red carpet hand in hand, marking the first time in decades that Keanu had gone public with a romantic partner. Fans were thrilled to see Keanu smiling and happy, and many took to social media to celebrate what they saw as a long-overdue moment of joy for the actor. Alexandra Grant was more than just a romantic partner. She was a collaborator and friend who had worked closely with Keanu on creative projects. The two first met in the early 2010s and co-founded X Artists Books, a publishing company focused on producing thoughtful, artist-driven publications. Their partnership grew from mutual respect and a shared love of storytelling. Together, they created Ode to Happiness and Shadows, two books that combined Keanu's poetic musings with Alexandra's artwork. When asked about their relationship, Alexandra described Keanu as a deeply introspective person who values authenticity above all else. "He's a man who listens," she said in an interview. "He takes time to process things and respond thoughtfully. That's rare in today's world." The media frenzy surrounding their relationship was intense, but Keanu handled it with his usual humility. He rarely commented on his personal life, preferring to let his actions speak louder than words. "I'm happy," he said in a brief interview when pressed about Alexandra. "That's all that matters." As Keanu found personal happiness, he also continued to explore creative ventures beyond acting. His passion for motorcycles led him to co-found Arch Motorcycle Company with custom bike designer Gard Hollinger. The company, known for producing high-performance, custom-built motorcycles, was a reflection of Keanu's lifelong love of riding. He often described motorcycles as a form of meditation, a way to escape the noise of the world and reconnect with himself. "I love the feeling of freedom," Keanu once said. "When I'm riding, everything else fades away. It's just me, the road, and the machine." Keanu's success with Arch Motorcycle wasn't just about business. It was about passion. He took an active role in designing and testing the bikes, often spending hours in the workshop alongside Hollinger. The company became a symbol of Keanu's hands-on approach to life, showing that he wasn't content to simply be a passive participant in his projects. He wanted to be involved, to learn, and to create. His love for creating extended to his continued involvement in philanthropy, much of which remained behind the scenes. Keanu's donations to cancer research, children's hospitals, and various charities were often made anonymously, reflecting his belief that kindness should be genuine, not performative. Despite being a multimillionaire, Keanu lived modestly, often choosing to rent modest homes rather than purchase extravagant properties. He was known for giving away large portions of his earnings, including the $80 million he reportedly distributed to the special effects and makeup teams of the Matrix trilogy as a thank you for their hard work. The stories of Keanu's generosity are countless. One day, he was spotted buying breakfast for a homeless man and sitting with him on a sidewalk, listening to his story. Another time, a fan recounted how Keanu helped push a broken-down car off a highway without hesitation. To Keanu, these acts weren't extraordinary. They were just what he believed any decent human being would do. "We're all in this together," he said in an interview. "Why not help when you can?" As he approached his late 50s, Keanu's career continued to flourish. He reprised his role as Neo in The Matrix Resurrections 2021, reuniting with co-star Carrie-Anne Moss and director Lana Wachowski to revisit the iconic sci-fi series that had defined a generation. The project was more than just a sequel. It was a reflection on identity, purpose, and the cyclical nature of life, themes that mirrored Keanu's personal journey. "Returning to The Matrix felt like coming full circle," Keanu explained. "The original films were about questioning reality and finding your own truth, and that's something I've always been interested in. But this time, it was also about embracing change and understanding that growth doesn't always mean leaving the past behind." The film, while divisive among critics, gave fans a chance to see Keanu once again embody the role that had made him an international star. His performance was praised for its emotional depth, capturing Neo's sense of nostalgia and longing for something more. As Keanu reflected on his career, he remained humble about his achievements. "I've been lucky," he often said. "I've had the chance to work with incredible people and tell stories that mean something to me." But beyond the screen, Keanu's greatest legacy may be the way he's inspired people to be better. In a world often dominated by self-interest and superficiality, Keanu's quiet, consistent kindness has served as a reminder that decency still exists. His story is one of resilience, of a man who faced unimaginable pain and found a way to turn it into something positive. In recent years, Keanu has become something of a cultural icon, dubbed the internet's boyfriend for his relatable demeanor and genuine warmth. Memes and fan pages dedicated to his kindness have flooded social media, but Keanu remains unfazed by the attention. "I appreciate the love," he said, "but I'm just doing my best, like everyone else." Looking to the future, Keanu shows no signs of slowing down. With more John Wick films in development, collaborations with filmmakers, and new projects on the horizon, he continues to push himself creatively while staying true to his values. His ability to balance fame with humility, success with generosity, and grief with hope is what sets him apart in an industry known for excess. Keanu Reeves is a reminder that even in the face of unimaginable loss, life can still be beautiful. His story isn't just about stardom. It's about survival, compassion, and the enduring power of kindness. As he once said, reflecting on the lessons life had taught him, "The pain doesn't go away, but it changes. It shapes you, makes you more empathetic. And if you let it, it can help you grow. The most important thing is to keep going, to keep loving, and to keep hoping." And that is exactly what Keanu Reeves continues to do.